a film festival in Africa. Isn't that just a great idea? Well, it was, I don't really know whose idea it was. It was probably Jay Swanson there on Mercy Ships. So when we were there in Sierra Leone, I was the videographer on board the ship, as you know, and I did some cool filming of some very powerful moments. And then I thought, hey, let's get some more people on board with this. On board, we were on a hospital ship. Isn't that clever, Beau? Well, what we made was a film festival. We had very low standards, don't worry. It's not like you had to be like a professional in order to create and submit an entry. But I was the MC for this event. So I stood up there in front of, I don't know, 100, 200, some odd people, just packed. It was so great. And I had my microphone, and I was wearing, get this, a suit tailor-made for yours truly there in Africa. Like an African seamstress made this suit for me. Liz was actually responsible in choosing the material, and if you've ever seen pictures of this thing, it's like checkered, bright yellow, bright blue, bright green squares all over it. It's very obnoxious. So I wore this thing, and the pants didn't quite fit very well. I think the seamstress might have measured my booty a little too small because they were pretty tight. Whew! But hey, it was a suit from Africa. I had to dress up for this film festival. Well, we started from square one, and we marketed this film festival all throughout the ship, you know, open to all the crew, and there were certain criteria that you had to accomplish in order to, things like a bottle cap. You had to incorporate that criteria into your short film. And then also the length of the film. It couldn't be over something like 8 or 9 minutes, because then that gets really boring. Yeah. Let's see, the prizes. Oh, the prizes were the best part. Oh, man. One of the doctors on board the ship was a brilliant fellow. We took a picture of him and printed out some 8x10 glossy photos. And then we laminated them, because there in Africa, everything is very moist. And so in order to keep it for a long period of time, well, you have to laminate anything that's paper if you want it to actually stay and not disintegrate. So we laminated it, and we actually got the guy to sign it. So yes, that was one of the prizes, was an autographed 8x10 glossy photo of the lead surgeon on board the ship, and he was kind of posing like this. It was awesome. Another prize, by the way, it was an adventure in and of itself, going out and trying to purchase these things in Freetown. Wow, we went from place to place to place, asking these vendors if they had Madonna bumper stickers. For some reason, there are an influx of taxi drivers in Sierra Leone who love Madonna. Go figure. But they have these big Madonna bumper stickers on the back of their car, and it's like a picture of her, you know, going, and it says Madonna in cursive, and it's on the back of these taxi cabs. You know, these really tough taxi drivers. Yeah, I listen to Madonna. Oh, yeah, so we went out and got some of these stickers because everybody was familiar with them. So when you gave it to someone who won, they just burst out laughing. Oh, it's a Madonna sticker! Yes! But man, you couldn't find these things anywhere. Every place, they were just sold out. Incredible. Madonna, go figure. Another fantastic prize that we had for the people, not necessarily for the people who won, but the worst film. And Like a Razzie award. Well, for the worst film, we we got a big bag of rice, and it was all done up in a nice little bag, and it had like a sticker on it that says first place in the Razzie category. Of course, there was only one place in the Razzie category. I don't remember who got the Razzie prize, but I just remember their expression being like, great, rice. In case you don't know, we eat a lot of rice in Africa. It's just like too much rice, but that's the Western side of me talking. If you are African, you're probably saying, no, we don't eat enough rice. I love rice, it's awesome. But me, I have a very delicate palate. So that was one of the things, was a big bag of rice. Congratulations. You're maybe wondering, did I create a film? Yes, I did. Well, actually, I co-created it with Jay Swanson, this other fellow on the ship, and we made a fight video. Now, one of the criteria was no excessive violence. Now, of course, no one's gonna make like a slasher film, but we had to have some kind of standard there because there were kids in the audience. And of course, our video that we made was a fight video, and a martial art fight video. You know in the Family Guy when Peter goes around and he's fighting this chicken, it's just like overly violent, just blood squirting everywhere. It's an awful thing, to the point where it's hilarious. And that's sort of what we were going for, minus the tremendous amounts of blood, but fighting all throughout the ship. And when we filmed this thing, Liz, she held the camera for maybe 5 or 6 hours. It was a long time. My wife is awesome. And so she held it as we just went around the ship fighting each other, myself and Jay. And Jay ended up editing it, and he did a magnificent job. He put these great sound effects in there. He did the Wilhelm scream, the ah! You know, that generic scream that sound engineers try to weave into videos and movies in Hollywood. If you don't know what the Wilhelm scream is, it's just it's a joke in the Hollywood industry. And of course, our production was a high-end Hollywood film. If you get a chance to look it up, I strongly suggest it. We ended up stuffing a dummy. That is, we kind of sewed together some pants and stuffed them so it looked like a human being, and we got up on top of the ship and we threw this thing off. And that was the end of the film. Not meaning to spoil it for you, but Jay, I did a tornado kick and kicked Jay in the face, and then it zoomed out and you saw this little dummy, or this human figure, falling. Ah! It landed on the dock below, just with this tremendous splat. Oh, it was so magnificent. And of course, when people saw this, when we debuted it, everybody just was roaring with laughter. Oh, it was a wonderful, wonderful moment. But it was so well done. And the music was great, the timing, the sound, the filming from Liz. Liz is very, very good at film work, by the way. She's just kind of ended up teaching herself angles and things. But of course, it wasn't quite fair having the videographer on board the ship be responsible for winning something. And so we had the chaplain, Marty. He interrupted me after the film was shown, and he said, I'm sorry, Beau. Due to the excessive use of violence, violating mercy ship standards, all of these reasons, basically every single standard that we set forth, we evidently violated. And of course he was doing this with a big smile, and we had coordinated it before. Spoiler alert. And he said, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to disqualify your film. And everybody, oh! And of course we were all dramatic about it, and it was like the best one. But again, that really wouldn't be fair. It was supposed to be a community thing for everybody. And the films were great. We had original poetry. We had kids making these, I remember they had these little toy lizards, and it was just really cute and really funny. So that is the first annual Africa Mercy Film Festival. And if you ever want to make something sound very official, just tag annual onto it. Even if it's first annual, which by the way, that makes absolutely no sense when something is first annual. If something is annual, then that means it has happened in years past. So first annual doesn't make sense, but it made one heck of an awesome film festival there in Sierra Leone, West Africa.